Hey guys, this is Michael Troy from Period 5 Computer Science, and I'm going to be doing the iCT lesson 6, or 7, I'm sorry. So let's jump right into it. We're going to create our grocery list class first, so that's the thing that, the blueprints, it's not the thing that runs it. So what we're going to have is type in public class grocery list. And it says we need 5 values. And let's just call those my item 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. My item cost. And they're double because, like, take for instance, you have like $1.50 or something. You have $1.50. So we're gonna need that as a double. Next, we're going to have to import our scanner class, or our scanner object. I actually have no idea what scanner really is, but let's record key inputs. System.in. And when we write scanner in equals new scanner system in, it's like when we create one of those objects, because the way I try to remember it is we're going into like the scanner.java and then creating a new object with like the parameters as system.in. If you don't know what I really mean, then just ignore that because it's kind of confusing, I guess. But we're going to have to import scanner from java.utilities. And now we have to create our, since we declared all of our instantiation variables, yes, that's the term, I think. We have to create our constructor, and there's just going to be one constructor. And since actually we're going to be getting all of our inputs from a method, we actually don't need anything inside the constructor itself. We're going to create a new method called getValues. It's not going to return anything, so void. And the way we're going to set this up is say system.out.print enter an integer. Or enter the price of the item, whatever you want. And after that, we're gonna set our first item, my item 1 cost is equal to the scanner. The scanner will pick up the next double we want it to print out. So the way we're going to do that is say in dot next double. So basically what's going on here is you should know what's going on right here. We're just printing out enter the price of the item, and then it's going to create a box with a scanner object, and it's going to set this, the in, which receives a double, into my items, or my first item. And we're going to do that for the next 5 items, since we have obviously 5 items. 3, 4, and 5. That's literally it, because when we repeat these things, when we repeat these things, you're just setting a new variable. So that's literally all you have to change, the variable you're setting it to. And we're actually almost done. Now we have to print the information. And this can get a little bit trickier, but it's a really easy once you think it out. And Mr. Elliott wanted us to be using the printf method, and the way I remember printf is I always think of like whatever the percent symbol is or whatever is like a variable. So this in itself, what I'm highlighting right now, acts as a variable, and what it's actually going to be is whatever I put in this next in the next argument. So yeah, so the way I interpret that is that way, and I always say, okay, is it on the left or right? So it has to be on the right. So wait, let me think. Yeah, it has to be on the right, so I'll put it there, and it has to be spaced out by 10. And then you say how many do you want it to cut off, but since we're not cutting off anything, we're just going to leave nothing there, and what type is it? I always remember what type at the end. And since it's a string, we're going to put that as a string, and we're going to call that item. But if you looked at Mr. Elliott's website, you'll notice that we actually have to put 3 strings, which is item, cost, and total. So what we're going to do is put 3 more variable type things. They're not actually variables. Well, I'm pretty sure they're not. So here's the second one, and here's the third one. That's just how I remember them. And we have to put 3 more strings, which is going to be cost and total. And after that, we're going to say system.out.printf, and what we're going to do is print out the total the cost of the first item and then the total cost so far. So let's just figure out what we're printing so far. Cost and total, and what we're going to print that out as is we're going to print that as two doubles. So we're going to say percent 5 percent. Oh, we're going to space that out by 10 and format that by 2. Even though these are doubles and they should already be formatted by 2, let's just say, just in case, format it by 2 decimal places, okay? And it's a double, so we're going to put F right there. And then the next one is the same exact thing. And then there's one more thing that goes along with it, and it is the item number it is, and that's a string. So that we say that's the first one, and before everything else we have to have percent, and it has to be in the fifth. It has to be spaced by 5, and it's a string. So just like that, we get number 1 spaced out by 5. And if you guys notice, we don't have anything called total, so we're gonna have to declare that right now. Double total is equal to 0 because we have nothing totaled right now. And before each time it prints a total, we're going to have to calculate the total, obviously. So the total is whatever the total was plus the last the item we're adding right now, which is first the item cost of 1. Next, we're going to repeat that for all 5 steps. So let me just change all these values right now. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3. And that should be pretty much it for this. It's actually very simple. Next, we're going to go into our tester class, and what we're going to do is obviously set it up. Public class grocery list tester, public static void main, public static void main string arguments bracket, bracket, and we're going to be creating a new item called grocery list. So grocery list equals grocery list my list 1 list equals, oh actually, grocery list isn't a private value, so we should probably just call it list1 equals new list, equals new grocery list. And basically, the only two functions we're gonna run are the get values, which will allow us to input the values and then print the information. So we're gonna say list1.get values, and then list1.print information, and that's basically it. Let's see if this works. Get values. Didn't name that right. There we go. Enter the price of the first item. I don't remember the specific values, but let's just say $2.50. Let's say I put $3 the next one, $5 the next one, $1 the next one, and 50 cents the next one. And here I actually just ran into an error, or not an error, but formatting issue. So the problem I did with this is I forgot to create a new line after every time it prints a value. So we're gonna say after in print information it prints out all the three values for item, cost, and total. We're gonna start a new line, and then when it runs into the next one, it prints out the item cost, the number one, the item cost, and then the total, and then we're gonna skip a new line. And we're going to do that so on and so forth. So this acts like printing a brand new line every single time, instead of saying like something like system.out.print ln with nothing in it, because that would be kind of awkward. And let's just put all these as one. And as you guys can see, the items are matching and they are formatted correctly too. And just so you guys can tell, these are going to be formatted correctly every single time. So let's put in some random number. As you guys can see, these are always formatted correctly. And if you notice too, the first item had 3 decimal places, which actually would never happen with money, obviously, but it ended up rounding it off. So yep, that's how you do it. I'll see you guys next lesson, and comment, rate, and subscribe.